We're here for a Jaws meet-up.
Yeah.
We've vlogged the Robert Shaw Wetherspoons and his childhood home before.
Yeah. So
but
flick back, have a look.
We're here for the 50th anniversary of Jaws.
Yeah.
There's a Jaws meet-up, so Mark will be there, my mate. Well, our mate.
Our mate.
Bad Hat Harry. Follow him on Instagram because he's
cool.
He collects anything Jaws.
Yeah.
Absolutely anything. He's a great guy. So yeah, we thought we'd take you to a Jaws meet-up. We're in a bit of a...
Doggers car park.
Yeah, this is what we call... It's not a doggers car park.
It's
so
people who walk the dogs.
It. Yeah.
So the doggers car park.
But it's at a stone's throw from Robert Shaw's house, so...
Yeah.
We just park here and walk down to Wetherspoons.
Yeah.
But we don't know what to expect. We don't know what there is.
First time.
So yeah, because we couldn't do Martha's Vineyard for the Jaws Fest, unfortunately.
So next best thing?
Yeah.
Robert Shaw's house.
Yeah.
Where it grew up.
Well,
that'll do.
He didn't grow up. He moved when he was little.
Yeah, but he was born there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So yeah, let's go see what's going on. Ready?
So, as we are going to a Jaws meet-up, here's me wear. Got my t-shirt on from a couple of lovely people. From idiot. From when they went to Universal Studios Japan. I've also got my Jaws lounge fly on. You'll see it. I'll show you when we get into it. What else have I got? Oh, I have my Jaws lanyard on my phone all the time anyway. But look, I feel a bit like a Jaws geek. Oh my god, I've got him outside his house. I've got to show you this. Oh, and also, Dad's got his broken hat on, and he's got his little shark socks on. Look. So this is Quint's Robert Shaw's house, but look at that. I'm going to have to get a picture of that, aren't I? That is ace, and they've got his blue plaque up now as well. That is brilliant. Well done. So when we go around this corner, you will see the Robert Shaw Wetherspoons.
Or a big white van.
Or a big white van.
Probably a big white van. My money's on the back. Stop.
Going? Yeah. But there we are. There it is. So we're going to go and see what's happening inside. That smells sweet, isn't it? So that's sweet. I like that. 50th anniversary weekend. Oh, look, this is what they've got going on. Because Quint update. Postcards from Martha's Vineyard. Raffle draw, day one, Q&A. Oh, what's that? Break for lunch, visit town centre and library's Jaws event. Oh, look, tomorrow could go in your house. No. That's cool. So here we are, we have arrived, and I'm going to show you this little local because it's just so cute. Look at this. It is a scale model made and loaned to us by Kevin Fleming of Northwest Scale Model Boat Club. That is so cute. You've even got the little markers in it. Little bucket of chum. That's so cute. Then you've got some bits here. That National Geographic is quite hard to get hold of. These are the books that are featured in Jaws. So when you see Brody flicking through the books when he's sat at home with Ellen and Steven Spielberg's dog, these are the books used. Plenty of little yellow barrels lying around. So cute. So we've spotted something over in the corner, haven't we?
Yeah.
So we're going to go mooch what it is.
We're going to go mooch.
We're going to go mooch, yeah.
We're going to have a look.
See our mark over there.
Having a look, see.
Mark it Jaws at.
Mark.
Mark. So I'm going to go and have a look. Let's go. Let's have a mooch.
All right.
So there is a little raffle, and you can win some great stuff. We also do a Quint poster, not that one, but it's just behind that lady there. So I don't know if to get that or not. So what do you think of our first Jaws meetup? So I've just yeah, it's so beefy, isn't it?
That's alright, good turnout.
Got a Jaws poster for £5, cash only. Never have cash on me. Looked in my purse, £5. That's a sign. So we've got a poster, and then they give you these. Free postcards. I'll do. Look who just rocked up.
My fault.
There he is. There he is.
Ugly mug.
So here's Mark. 3 yellow barrels. Bad Hat Harry as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
So check him out on Instagram. Best Jaws collection ever. Haven't you?
Well, it's not the biggest, but it's getting there.
It's massive.
It's only 10 years in the making, so you know some of my brothers have been doing it for 50 years. So
You've got some nice stuff though.
coming up to 3,000 pieces, so I'm doing all right. Three storage units.
You need to open a museum.
We've already discussed it.
Do it.
Yeah, I am thinking of
Do it.
doing it, and proceeds going to Shark Foundation. So
Yeah.
that's the plan if I can find cheap rents and stuff like that, and somewhere where it's going to be secure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's got to be secure.
That's the plan. So.
Do it. But check him out on Instagram. I'll put all these little details here.
Now, I believe you've all come from all over. Ryan's obviously flown in from the States. Yeah. Woo! Spain. People from Wigan.
Oh no.
Where?
Manchester.
Kendall. Where else have you come from?
Haworth.
Haworth. Yorkshire.
East Yorkshire.
East Yorkshire. Sheffield.
Think you get through it.
Oh my. So, welcome. Right, we've got 2 days, quite a lot going on. You've seen the programme. I have been told I've made a mistake on the programme, which I'll come to in a bit. Oh, and over there, chap with the hat on, David Price. He lives at Oakley, which is what number?
197.
197.
Not as published in the
So I've got the wrong number on one of the sheets, which
197.
I'll change later, but that's fine. That's fine. So yes, my name's Chris Buckley. I get involved in community things, and 2 years ago I got a strange message from a chap called Hayden Wheeler about a Jaws meetup, and I thought this is a bit strange. So I followed it up and found out that Ryan had written this book, the Book of Quint, and then got communication with Hayden. And 2 years ago, 1st of July, on a day that wasn't quite as nice as this, we had our first Jaws meetup. I don't know about Jaws meetup in the UK, but certainly the first Jaws meetup. So, and it went very well, and we did presentations, a bit of community stuff, and we did a tour and invaded David's house, surprised him. And we also saw the house. So what's the house where Robert Shaw was born? There we are, 51 King Street, so that's what we need. Right, so what we got on our agenda? Shortly, Ryan's going to come and talk to us.
Thank you.
Yes. We've got Joe Mills here, who runs the Robert Shaw website. Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Dackle.
You're welcome.
No, I'm fine here. Wow, thank you very much for showing up. This is quite the. Who was here last 2 years ago? Some poor people. 2 years ago, we had we were here. It was a lot cloudier, blustier. I was just telling Andy that the northern English weather is, I really love this weather because this is about as hot as it's going to get or whatever, and it's like and over in New England and Syracuse, New York, and all that. I don't, I'd rather have overcast days and all the stormy stuff. So this is actually not that bad, and this is really nice weather. But the last time we were here, we were all in coats and bundled up, and the rain was coming in sideways, and we had a ball. But the has everyone enjoyed 50th anniversary of Jaws? Has anyone been rewatching the film? They're going to be re-releasing it. Are they re-releasing in cinemas here? Yeah, in like a couple of weeks. 2 weeks. Yeah. So that's kind of what we're here for. Is what I kind of started back in 2020 when I started the research for the Book of Quint. Was that Jaws is all about community in my life. And I don't know if anyone saw the presentation that I did. That presentation video has got 55,000 views now, and it was kind of a defining moment where I was able to state exactly what the purpose was behind the Book of Quint. Was almost to define the community around Jaws, was how people come together to watch the film. And it's not really about the movie because we kind of know the movie by heart. We've seen the movie hundreds, a lot of us seen it hundreds and hundreds of times. But it's about the experiences we had while watching the movie. And one of the things that I really loved was, after being the author of the Book of Quint, was the people will come up and everyone has a story about when they first saw Jaws, what family they were with, or if they were left in a theater by their parents, or if they because their parents went shopping, so it was like a babysitter for them. Like little things like that, right? And so, but everyone has a little different story and all that, and that's what it's all about. Is that as we go further and as Jaws turns 50, those stories just continue as new generations come into the fold. And what I was trying to convince the Benchley family, the Benchley estate, was that Jaws is great on its own. It's a great movie. But the younger generations have to have their own Jaws moment. And they have to kind of have something that's maybe that they can share a new experience and that the parents and the grandparents can actually share with that. And that's where the Book of Quint came into being, is that there was this magnetic draw to this story. I'm not really going to go, it's a long story, and that was kind of what the genesis of what the last meeting was. But what I wanted to say here is that now that the Book of Quint has been out, and 2 years ago, then we went into publication, and the energy that just surrounded it, sold out 3 printings around the world in paperback, and now what happened? And now after with Jaws turning 50, it was. I left the former publisher and I was able to make the audiobook. And the audiobook is sort of that next level. So if you have read the Book of Quint, what I did was I went and we found an actor, Screen Actors Guild actor, and he performs 22 different voices. He does an impeccable Robert Shaw, amazing Robert Shaw. And I knew that there was some magic happening when I heard him perform that. So I worked with him, and I produced and directed him, and we got through the whole book. And so what you have now is a 14-hour and 23-minute audiobook that's on all the platforms, Audible, Spotify, Apple. And what we have is, everyone's going to leave, we have a bunch of these different cards here that I made, and it's personalized with the date and the location for the event that we're at for the next 2 days here. Also, thank you for the Robert Shaw for hosting us, and thank you for, I should have done this earlier, Hayden, thank you very much for, and Chris for organizing this. These two guys came together, talked to him about the war, not until Jaws came out. And he was in the theater, and he just heard that Indianapolis, and he goes, well, my dad was on that show. So then he went back and talked to his father, and then opened up, and that's when the reporters started calling. So the reporters wanted to talk to his dad. So what happened is that his dad actually started coming to the reunions and stopped drinking alcohol. He basically claims that Jim actually says Jaws saved his dad's life because his dad was on a downward spiral, a lot of dark things that were in his mind, and he was drinking and all that, and all of a sudden with Jaws, and then people wanted to see him and interview him, all of a sudden he comes out and he lives long and healthy life. So what you're seeing is Robert Shaw, happy 98th birthday last week to Robert Shaw. That what he did, this man Robert Shaw, for him to go there and portray Quint, it's unbelievable. No other actor could have done what Robert Shaw did. Is that he used, obviously he's from Westhoughton, and the pub life that he was used to is that community. All right, and he was used to that community. So when he came to the set of Jaws, he did something that all the other actors that they thought were going to play Quint, Lee Marvin, or they thought Sterling Hayden, all these other actors were sort of, at the time, they were kind of on the downward side of their career. Robert Shaw was peaking. He was taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3. He was right in that era where he was commanding top billing, or even right there. And what happened is, he comes into Jaws with the gravitas, but he brings in Farewell and Adieu, Spanish Ladies. He brings in Show Me the Way to Go Home, pub songs from his life in Britain. And what happens is that's the community. Jaws opens up and becomes a community. And Quint becomes this really original character. Wasn't around, obviously Peter Benchley did not write the USS Indianapolis segment. That was added in by others as the screenplays were being written. And what happens is that Robert Shaw finally took all that information, he brought it down into what he believed was going to portray the USS Indianapolis in that one speech. But because he did that so well, Jaws then resonates. Because every one of us, I remember my parents, everybody, that when we watched Jaws, everybody talked about the USS Indianapolis speech, true story, all of that. And what happens is that creates a ripple effect. Now, my personal take is that Jaws was just a fictional movie about a monster shark terrorizing the town. When the USS Indianapolis story was introduced to Jaws, it then became historical fiction. And historical fiction is some of the most important, it's the important fiction that we'll ever make in our lifetimes, because what it does is that it teaches the younger generation about history. And if you get it wrong, then you might have the details will get changed forever, for generation and generation, because the people that experience that will eventually pass on. But the younger generations will just have the movie. So one of my examples I always say is Titanic. Back in early 90s, Titanic was just, it was a ship that went down. But it wasn't until James Cameron put a fictional tale, and he put Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet on the boat, and the rest is history. All of a sudden you see museums, you see tours, you see young kids all getting in line, and everything just blew up. And that's where I believe the Book of Quint is now going to do, is going to reestablish the historical fiction of Jaws, but it's also going to pull in the younger generation. And that's what that can be absolutely felt with this, with the audiobook. So one of the things that Chris wanted me to do at this one, before I think tomorrow is just going to be what's going to happen in the future, but he wanted me to give updates on the Book of Quint. when I created my own publishing company, Amity Point Publishing, after I left the former publisher, because there were difficulties in making the audiobook. So in order to get the audiobook made, I actually had to leave my publisher and actually start my own publishing company in order to do this. That's how much faith I have in this, because this was never about being published. I'm probably the most unauthor author that you'll ever see. I'm not really into the author life. I'm a lineman. I work on power lines. In fact, that's where I just was working earlier this week, and I had to do 2 episodes of the Jaws Obsession, which is my podcast. And I got all those done, but I recorded all day on Tuesday, and I was editing, so I called my boss and said, hey, I gotta take the next 2 days off. He knows I was going to England. I go, so I got a lot of work to do. So I said, okay, so I worked for about 40 hours straight. Got a couple naps in there, but we got the 2 episodes online, and here I am. But that's what I'm saying, is that that's how this whole thing is, it's just ongoing, is that I consider myself a lineman that actually happens to be an author at the same time. And what happened is that that's where the authenticity comes from. When people ask about the Book of Quint, how did you write this? How did you get this scene right and all that? Because a lot of what I saw Quint was, he was like a captain. I was in the Coast Guard, United States Coast Guard, 4 years. So I sailed under captains. I was on search and rescue boats. I was on an icebreaker. I spent time in Antarctica, North Pole, and I've sailed under a lot of different crotchety old sailors. And I kind of knew how the terms go, and the feeling of being a brand new guy that's never really been on the water, and then being with some of these older sailors, captains. But then when I got into line work, I tell you what, if you get a grouchy foreman on a line crew, really can probably hold his own against the grouchiest of captains. So when people say, how'd you write Quint? I say, well, I kind of been yelled at a lot by a lot of older guys, so I kind of thought that this is how it would go, and it just so happens to work out. And that's the type of things you do. When they say write what you know, it just seems like that there was always this material that I was drawing on for my whole life that I lived through, and it just came out that way. And that's where I felt that the Book of Quint needed to be an audiobook, and it needs to be in front of Spielberg. Whether he makes it or not, I hope he does. In fact, one of my episode 92 that just went up 2 days ago, I lay out the case. Pretty much everything I do on the Jaws Obsession now is kind of talking to Amblin and Universal in a indirect way in front of everybody, because I know they're watching. So when you see that, that's what I'm kind of doing, is I'm trying to lay out this case. I feel like I'm a Perry Mason or something, and I'm constantly, trying to litigate like evidence, exhibit number 1, exhibit number 2, this is why you should make the movie. But one of the things I do feel was that audiobook was, this is the level we needed to get at. We need to hold events like this, and we need to show that the Book of Quint is the premier project, because we don't want remakes or reboots. We like Mechanical Bruce Shark. We don't really want to see digital sharks come in. We don't want to see characters written out. We don't need remakes. How about we add to the lore? And when you read the Book of Quint, you're provided with context and history into the characters. So when you watch Jaws, the campaign we're on right now is watch Jaws again for the first time, 2025. So when you watch Jaws now, after you read the Book of Quint or you listen to the Book of Quint on audiobook, you're going to watch Jaws, and little things are going to stand out, and it's going to be a whole new movie for the better. Because Jaws is there's a lot of open ends to Jaws. I could probably go on and on. But that when you watch this, things are going to just make sense. And that's where it's all about, is that I really wanted to bring Jaws, kind of erase the bad taste that 3 and Jaws the Revenge kind of left. Where when you're in front of the people, the families of the USS Indianapolis Legacy Organization, which now I'm a member of, they presented me with a flag that flew over the monument for the 80th anniversary with a date stamped on it. And it was just amazing. I have that flag folded up back in my office. And when you see these families and you talk to them, they just want to see the memories of their fathers or grandfathers. You know, I was talking. There's an 81-year-old lady, and she has the photo of her father holding her for the last time before deployment, and that hits home. And then I sit there, and when I'm driving back or I'm thinking about it, I get upset because, and I think Spielberg is also upset, is that Hollywood and the powers, the machine, took Jaws and made it into a punchline. They made it into a monster shark movie. But it really never was. It was a human movie that has a shark in it. And the humanity of it all is what we're restoring here. And that's so important. And the families, they've read the Book of Quint, they're totally supportive of it. Some of them are just glowing because they recognize some of the names that I put in there at random, and it's just like there's a lot of attachment now where they go, yes, this is what we would like to. This is what we've always waited for. Because if you think about it, Jaws is just a glorious movie, but then the degradation as you get to Jaws: The Revenge, and it became a laughingstock, punchline. I mean, they were even making fun of it in Back to the Future 2 with Jaws 19 with the holographic shark, right? And it was like, yes, that's like kind of how they looked at the property back in the 80s. And now we're here to say, no, we can restore that by showing the historical context. And the Book of Quint, which obviously would be almost Saving Private Ryan meets Shawshank Redemption meets Jaws, is that you open up with The Last Day in the Water, August 2nd, 1945, how Quint survives that last day of the 5 days in the water. And then the events that take him to Amity and his life on Amity, which is pretty much in seclusion. If you're ever at Martha's Vineyard, only about 3 months a year people on the island. After that, it's a ghost town. And so I was always interested in, when we see Jaws, we see 12 calendar days of Jaws. So in the summertime, the tourists and all that chaos going on. But I was always interested in what was Quint doing during the wintertime? What was he doing during the fall when there's no one there? And there are no sharks in the water because obviously the sharks are cyclical, where they come with the tides. So when it's cold water, they're not going to be there. So what does Quint do? And that's what the Book of Quint kind of shows that. And I really was fascinated by that. And that was one of the things that I wanted to do. So what we have now is we have hard covers by Amity Point Publishing. And this is the hardcover that I've always wanted to see the book in this format. So now that I'm my own publisher, we're going to do it. And this is what we have. We have a hardcover Book of Quint that we sold out 200 of these during Jaws Amity Week 2025 on Martha's Vineyard for the 50th anniversary of Jaws. So we're doing micro printings. I got 300 being made right now at Lightning Press in New Jersey. And but this right here is where is probably the purest form of the book. It's the rustic feeling. It's the hardcover, and what I wanted to do was probably we're going to go to just micro printing. I'm following these like artists that are working now on Instagram. Mark Maggiore as sort of an inspiration. And what he does is he just makes these little print drops where everybody just puts a story, and that's where the energy is at. So that's why I say, in closing, why not Steven Spielberg? I'm tired of seeing the Chris Nolans and the James Camerons make the billion-dollar movies. And Steven Spielberg is still Steven Spielberg. Where is his billion-dollar movie? And I do believe that if you saw and you're going to see it in the next 2 weeks when Jaws is re-released here, you're going to see the excitement, you're going to see the passion, and I do believe that will translate over in this window of time that's still open. When that translates over, you're going to see something truly, truly special. And that's my appeal to Mr. Steven Spielberg. So thank you very much. Let's open up this Robert Shaw Festival on this beautiful, beautiful day at the Robert Shaw. And I hope to see every one of you. Please come up and talk, and I'm going to be here all day and all day tomorrow. So thank you very much for showing me.
So did you enjoy that little chat?
Yeah, that was good.
It was good, wasn't it? Yeah. So the new books he's got aren't out yet. He says, keep an eye on, I'll show you. And this. And following him on Instagram, and he says when they're up for sale. You can get them from
When
there.
they drop, you want it.
When they drop, yeah, you can get it, boy. So yeah, I'm a bit miffed. I forgot my book of Quint for him to sign. But then Baz said, just get him to sign this. Then I could put that in my book.
Yeah.
Winning. So when the queue goes down, I will.
Yeah.
But what Phil...
Quite cute.
Yeah. But what Phil doesn't know is while he was watching that, I took some pictures on his phone. So we're going to see how long it takes him to find the pictures.
Yeah. Could be a while.
I was 7 years old. I've got a lot of family in America. I've only been to America once, and that was when I was 7. So it had been 1979, and I was staying at my aunt's house in Chicago, and they had cable TV, which to a 7-year-old British child was like Disneyland, right? And just so happened that the movie of the week, you guessed it, all right, was Jaws, and it was on sort of every 2 hours and every day. So the first time I actually saw it was in a dark room. I'm 7, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And I think I watched it about 15 times while I was at my aunt's house. Absolutely sick of it. But for me, the one thing that stood out was this fella here. I was absolutely gutted when he got eaten. I was inconsolable. And then I found out that he's from here, and I only live about 3 miles away. I'm a Wigan boy, so we have that in common. But it was watching that film that led me to do what I wanted to do. I was lucky I went to drama school, I became a professional actor, and that's what I still do. And it was because of watching him. And if anyone was to ask me what's the greatest piece of film acting you've ever seen, it's that Indianapolis speech. It doesn't, take it from me, it doesn't get any better than that. Particularly when you consider he was probably pissed when he did it as well, which is an even greater feat. So, yeah, I always had a fascination with him after that, and that's never gone away, on and off. And I got the books, read a few books, watched the films and so on and so on. And then COVID comes along. Yay! That was fun, wasn't it? So within that period of time, you know, you're sort of scratching around for stuff to do. I was quite busy. I do a lot of audio books. I work for Audible. You missed out there, Ryan. Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to do that. And you're scratching around for stuff to do, aren't you? So I sort of got myself a domain. I was quite new to it. I've never done a website before. But I'm quite a creative person and I enjoyed putting it together. So this would have been 2020. So that was when I decided I was going to do this website. This website, by the way, is not monetized. It actually cost me over 300 quid a year to keep this website going. I don't make anything from it. I have to do it all myself. As I told Ian Shaw when I met him at the Lowry after the shop was broken. And he was really grateful, it was lovely. So yeah, I sort of started putting it together and it just sort of grows organically, and the more you get more nerdy, you get more geeky, more ideas come into your head. So I was going to say, right, so I'll start it off, do the usual stuff, biographies, filmographies, that kind of stuff, and it sort of spreads it from there, and then sort of every film, every TV show, and then you really start getting nerdy then. Proper nerdy, alright? So, theatre credits, you name it, anything, okay? Could have blown his nose somewhere and I'm trying to find out about it. So, that becomes the joy of it, and when you unearth something that you've not seen before, right, you get a little, ooh, yeah, all right, okay, this is great, and you put it on because I'm in charge of the Facebook page as well. So it sort of evolved from there. What it is now really is everything that you could possibly want to know. Last year I went to Tomakidi. I went to the Stone, went to Paddy's, which was the dynamic with his dad and so on, and
I sort of transcribe the letters, and they're on the website as well, which his dad wrote, which give a really good insight into him as a personality. But yeah, it's all on there. All the movies are on there. You can just go on. Each movie has its own page, as do the TV shows. Managed to find some rare recordings of him doing some audiobooks on George Bernard Shaw. Found those. Someone tipped me off to them. They're on there. Some interesting voiceovers from way back when. I think he did about 3 or 4 voiceovers for British transport films back in the 50s and the early 60s. They're on there, apart from one which I did have, and then they took it away, so I haven't been able to find it since, but I'll keep trying. So there's all kinds of little things on there, and it's very, very comprehensive, I like to think. There's also a page on there for Ryan's book as well, and other websites you can go to, and Facebook pages and Hayden's page as well. It's www.robertarchibaldshaw.com. There you go, full name. Alright, and there's also a big page on there, because Ryan mentioned it as well, there's a massive page on there about Mary as well, who I think is really important in the whole scheme of things as well. So yeah, there it is. You can go and visit it, get on it, okay? It's really cool to see. So I go on it every day, just checking around it and adding stuff where I can here and there. And it's a real thrill. So there's a map on there. I installed a map on there to see where people are actually checking in from. Micronesia, that was a good one. I really enjoyed that one. Yeah, it is incredible when you look at all the real disparate places, and you think, wow, you know, what a reach. Still, you know, after all these years, and that's the power of the movie. It's the power of him as an actor. All right. And even all these weird places, Mauritius, you name it, there's all these kinds of, a lot of fans in Russia, which is interesting. Yeah, I know. So yeah, hit it up, and if you've not been to it yet, then you'll love it. You really will, because it's very good.
So Ian's just got his burger with a little shark in it. How cute is that?
Remember, fish are friends, not food.
And then Paula's boring. She just got chips. That is so cute. Oh. So we are now leaving the Joe's meet-up because we are down the motorway to something else, which is probably
our next adventure.
Yeah, that's probably been put out before this. Yeah. So you might have already seen it.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know, do you? So, yeah, we're going to go to the Joe's house. Not Joe's house, we're at Joe's. We're near the Joe's house.
Yeah, near the Joe's house.
The bloke that owns that house was at Joe's Fest. Yeah. Joe's meet-up, whatever it is. But it was just so good to see Paula and Ian, Mark,
Phil.
I was thinking of Mark's Instagram name. 3 Yellow Barrels, go check him out. But yeah, Phil. Yeah. It's a good laugh.
He is. He's awesome.
Bloody filthy though with his jokes. Some of them. Yeah, great guy. But yeah, so it's sad to leave him, but like I say, we're going somewhere else, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Somewhere awesome.
Yeah.
The team is going to spend all their money.
I'm not. Because they haven't got any money.
No, she hasn't.
So we're just jumping in the outro of the Joe's meet-up. We're very tired, it's very late. But yeah, I forgot to say, I got the poster and I wanted to see what it looks like, because I don't even know what it looks like.
Bet she bought it anywhere.
It's from a Joe's Fest.
Could be someone just going,
Also, it's stamped.
Joe's 50.
Oh, it's a bit like a Wetherspoony pub picture.
Yeah.
I quite like that actually. All these different rolls. That's squeaking his Ellie.
She's just got a new toy.
So yes, we got that. Let me just roll that back. Keep it safe.
Okay.
Then we've got these 3 postcards.
Open.
Wish that was real.
Yeah.
And then the author of the Book of Quint. I forgot his name again. Begins with R. Ryan.
Ryan.
Right, I'm very, like I said, tired. They were giving these posts. Well, they gave us that and that. So he signed that for me because I said I'd forgot my book, so I can put that in the book. And then he said he also had that, so he gave us one of those. That's a mock-up of Quint going on the Indianapolis. We got that, and oh, we got this. We were gifted this. So I think we might graffiti it up, might we?
Might, but do we? Because we've already got signs with it graffitied up. Haven't got one where it's just plain.
What do you put it in the comments? Should we leave it like this or should we graffiti it up? I think I'd like it graffitied up, but you decide.
Don't know.
I thought she'd run off with a bag, but it's a bat.
That's it.
So there we go.
Yeah.
Just want to say another thank you to Mark, Phil, Paul and Ian for making it a great day.
Yeah. Thank you.
Let's do another
Thoroughly
one.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. We were right.
Yeah. So anyway, back to the outro.
Dun, dun,
Right.
dun.
Look what we're walking past. Look what we're walking past. Doo, 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 doo. How cool. Yeah. But yeah, this is a 2-day event, the Jaws meetup.
Yep.
But we unfortunately can only be here Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah. Just Saturday.
So yeah. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you liked it.
Yeah. And if you did, smash that like button. Remember, leave a comment because we like hearing your comment. And if you've got friends out there, unlike me, you can share it with them. That's good. Yeah. Right, so we'll see you next one, guys. Have fun.
Ta-da!